live for Lunch with the Doc. Lunch with the Doc. Got some waters. We're here at the deck.
We have a great manager here. What's your name? Eamon takes care of people here.
Oh, yeah.
They have great food. It's a great place to be.
And look at this view. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's all about the experience.
Mm-hmm.
The experience of being waterfront, summertime, clear, warm water. It is happening. It has happened.
It's happening. It's happened.
Awesome.
It's summer. We're on. We're here. We're loving it. Life is so good. You gotta count your blessings every day.
I'm gonna get a big old festive salad.
Yeah.
Maybe with some ahi.
Yes. Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be lovely.
It's gonna be good.
So today, I mean, that kind of like links into our topic. We're talking about a balanced life, right?
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Health in Balance? That's a great question.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think it's a great question.
Thank you to myself.
Yeah. Well, no, I thank you for asking the question. I remember when we started chiropractic school, the seniors told us that if you work real hard, you need to play hard too. You got to balance it out. They also told us that half of the married couples that start professional school, whether it's medical school, dentistry, chiropractic, physical therapy school, law school, half of those couples end up divorced by the end of the 4 years.
Ooh.
Because of the stress load that the people are under, and the fact that the other person isn't as involved in their life doing all these things. These other relationships develop under a lot of stress, and people balance it out. So it's about balancing it. And so the health imbalance, I think, was just a fact of, okay, if we're going to work and produce, there should be time to rest and play and restore and have fun. And going too far one way or too far the other way is not being balanced.
It's true.
And it can lead to challenges. Yeah.
It's got to be balanced.
Yeah.
Health in balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I did was I put together a couple of little deals here. This one I'm calling Life and Health in Balance.
Ooh. Yeah.
And so the idea
Good
here
life and your health in
is,
balance.
with your work and your stress of life and those kind of things, that should be balanced with rest and play and sleep, those kind of things. More and more research is showing if you want a fit, lean body, you need more sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to get enough restoration or repair, and you're going to carry extra body weight. So that's one thing. Next thing is the concept of...
It seems like these days, when you talk to people, a lot of people like to almost like brag about how busy they are. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm just so stressed out. And it's almost like a good thing in a way, like something we value. But really, I think we need to shift our thinking and recognize, it's actually not, we shouldn't be in a competition of like who's more stressed, who's more busy. But like, who's more balanced? What if that was our competition? Who is more balanced? I like that. That would be good. I'm trying to live a balanced life.
So, in the nervous system, there's a balancing pathway. It's the balance between the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is when we go into a fight or flight response. There's a lion chasing us, and we are running. We are running like Forrest Gump.
Running!
And that is a stress response. That's where people do superhuman things like, pick up a car that is, someone is squashed underneath it and the adrenaline flows so big, they have superhuman strength and pick up a car.
That's pretty crazy. I want to do that. I want to pick up a car.
But only short term.
Only short term.
Yeah.
Just if I could really pick up a car all the time, then I might be too... Like everyone would want me everywhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't be one of the most sought after women in the world because you're so beautiful and so full of life.
Thanks.
And yes, I am your dad. I think you're one of the most incredible women on the planet.
Thank you.
I think any single guy that isn't chasing you is kind of a moron.
Okay.
But that would just be from my vantage point.
Yeah,
That's just my perception.
Thank you.
I mean, if I was a single guy, I would be wanting to get to know you a lot better.
Okay, thanks.
So the parasympathetic
Right back into it.
Parasympathetic nervous system is the one that has a lot to do with healing and restoration. This is what happens when we sleep. When we wake up, the sympathetic nervous system turns on to whatever degree. Like if you're in New York and you're walking around trying to catch the subways and people are in your way and you say, hey, get out of here, what are you doing? I'm trying to get over here, I'm trying to get to the subway, you know?
Hey,
that's a little higher sympathetic tone. That's a little higher sympathetic stress. But the other idea is, you could be out here on the beach in Laguna like, whoa, man, the waves are cool. It's chilling today. Look at the shake. That's not as much stress, but you're still in the sympathetic mode. Parasympathetic is what really turns on when you go into healing mode when you're sleeping. That's where your body does all the repair, heals tissues, gets rid of cancer cells, all that kind of stuff. So it's
how much sleep do you need a night?
Well, most reports are saying 7 to 9 hours.
It's good.
Yeah, because and you got to kind of judge. I know some people. I have this one friend named Mark from Boston. Mark, you know who you are? He tells me he only needs 4 to 5 hours, and it's like I don't know.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like nearly enough to me.
No,
but then we can have things out of balance. So if we have way too much work, stress, worry, burdens we're carrying, life is going to be out of balance. And our sleep, our play, our art, our music, our reading, our joy factors, those are not going to be doing too well. So that's the one way. Then you get the other one.
I like this teeter-totter.
Yeah, the teeter-totter. It works.
Teeter-totter's
Then
great.
the other one is the extremely playful, slothful, lazy guy, overplaying, procrastinating anything done, very lazy, and probably overindulging in food, in beverage, in substance. They get wrapped up over here, and their work suffers, and their life goes out of balance, and they can't hold down a job anymore, and now they're, potentially homeless. Who knows where they go? So, work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play hard. Another interesting thing about the play part. So I think, there's that work hard, play hard idea and slogan in our society, but I was doing a study in one of my classes on the Sabbath. So the Sabbath is an old tradition in the Jewish culture, and they do 1 day a week of complete rest, 24 hours of Sabbath. They don't work, they rest. But the interesting thing that they talked about was in the Sabbath you incorporate both prayer and play. So within the play, you have the fun, you have the delight, you go take a hike or whatever you do. But then you also have the prayerful time where you're more, taking inventory of where you're at, and you let your heart and your soul rejuvenate and rest. Because if you just work hard, play hard, you're actually going to be exhausted. After your weekend of playing, you're just going to be like, I don't even feel rested at all. I feel like I just need another day to sleep.
Well, that's where that play hard has a different meaning. Play hard, rest hard.
Exactly.
It's that balance between being active, but also taking that time to not be active, to just kind of chill, read, garden, pray, write some music, get out a canvas, do some painting.
Yeah. Stuff that really is truly restful for
crayons.
Your inner world. Crayons.
Josh, you're pretty good at crayons, aren't you?
We have so can one of you come join us? Sterling, come on in. We have some HIV people here, and they're going to just tell us
HIV as in health imbalance. Yeah.
So tell us about your life. How do you find balance? What do you do for fun? What do you do to rest?
And what are you doing in your life right now?
Well, I am a college student at the University of Hawaii, and so I am busy constantly with homework and studying and tests, and so finding balance is crucial in order for me to rejuvenate. So one of the things I love to do is go out and surf, whether there's waves or not, is just getting out in the ocean, and then that's just huge for me to be able to just sit and relax and rest and have fun at the same time.
Yeah.
It's important. I think that's really important for students because student life can be gnarly. You're sitting there just on the computer, you're not moving, and it can just be an intense time. So it's important when you're a student to really make that time for balance.
A lot of times you rev up on coffee to study and you want your brain going, but then cortisol is a stress hormone, and cortisol with caffeine actually doubles the half-life of cortisol. What does that mean? Cortisol should be up high in the morning, and then it should be low at night. and your body should break it down naturally so you get into a nice deep sleep. But if you have a lot of caffeine, it will make it so that the cortisol doesn't get broken down very easily, and it stays in your system twice as long, meaning you're not going to ever get as deep of a sleep, and you're not going to sleep as much, meaning you're going to have more inflammation, you're going to have more fat on your body, you're going to be more stressed out, less at peace, less creative. You know, there's a lot of factors that you got to balance in.
That's important. So I would say it's so good that you do that you get that time, because when I was in college, I just didn't really realize like what I was doing to my health and my body, and I would stay up, I would drink so much coffee. I would literally have these canteens of coffee, and I would bring them into like my classes, but I would be falling asleep. Let me just tell you what my notes would look like.
You did?
Yes. So here I'd be writing my notes, like listening, and then all of a sudden, just the page. And my notes, literally, if you go back to all my college notes, they look like this. Just my pen drops, because I would kept falling asleep. My body was like, no matter how much coffee you drink, like, you need to sleep. And I just kept pushing myself, staying up late, and I would like go have fun with friends, but it was like I never got rest time. And I paid for it in health for like years. And finally, working with you and Mom, I've gotten my health like back. I'm good. My adrenals are better, but I had adrenal fatigue and a lot of health issues for a while. So it's important.
It ends up taking your whole immune system function down too. You can be prey to viruses and bacteria and parasites, and it's not a pretty picture. I mean, how many of us know that? We kind of all know that.
We know that.
And just on that note, just for encouragement to any students, one thing, if you don't have access to the beach, just a nice walk around the block helps a lot, rather than just constantly going, doing notes, studying, because that's just nonstop. You can always be doing something, but even just taking a walk around the block helps a lot. Take your mind off of things.
So true. Constant walks are really important. We talked about that.
Well, and even how do you start your day? You know, there's one of my favorite Bible verses says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all the other things will be added unto us." And so I take that literally, like seek first in the morning. Take my time to center myself, read my scriptures, say my prayers, put on the armor of God, ask God to fill me with the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, and be like Joshua, strong and courageous, and start that way, you know, and start centering myself and try to draw near to the presence of God first thing, and then throughout the day that I want to stay in God's presence throughout it, instead of getting whirled around in worry and fear and my head trips that I go into like everybody does. So I take that literally. And then the attitude of gratitude is another way to remember it.
That's so true.
What's good?
What's good?
What's improving?
Yeah.
That's that Philippians 4, right? Whatever things are good, whatever things are right, lovely, pure, let your mind think on those things. And the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and your mind. So a lot of it has to do with where we let our minds go.
Yeah.
I oftentimes use the analogy of, whatever we're thinking about is like a TV screen. And a lot of times we have a tendency to loop into our favorite bad feelings. What's wrong? What's still wrong? Where's the problem? Where's the problem? What do I need to find a solution to? And that's just a TV station we're watching. We have a remote control. We can change channels and go, oh, I'm going to switch to the what's right channel. What's right? What's better? What's getting better? What am I thankful for? How can I make someone else's life better? What can I do to encourage someone? It's just all what we choose.
Yeah. Well, there's so many new studies coming out about the plasticity of our brains, and I think sometimes we get the thought that, like, oh, that's just my thought pattern, like, that's how I think, and that's just kind of my demeanor and my personality, but now they're finding that we can really train our brains into new thought patterns and new thinking. And so there's a book called Detox Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf, and she talks about how to actually detox your brain from these negative thought pathways. The more we think a thought, it's like a river creating a pathway in our brains. So the more we think it, the deeper that riverbed goes, and then we're continually on that path. But if we can go in and we can detox and retrain those pathways to go in a new pathway, and then it'll become more natural as we do that. So I think that's a really cool thing as we're talking about, work, stress, balance in our lives, our mental balance, and is so important for us to really live a balanced life.
You know why I had my doctor's jacket on? That was to just show the work versus play.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to take it off right when we started, just to start this whole thing. And
Take off
forgot.
that work jacket.
So, this work jacket is not going to be back on today. It will only be back on tomorrow when I'm seeing patients.
Yeah.
I'm over
Gotta
it.
free up. That's one of my favorite lines of my dad. Is all the time he'll just be like, free up, free up. You got to, you know?
There's a famous guy in Laguna Beach culture, in the surf culture. His name is Mark Jamgochin. Jay Bird is his nickname, or his company was called Bird's World, and he's a designer, artist, does clothes, and now he moved over to Hawaii about 25 years ago, and he just he makes drawings and then he puts them onto clothes, and he goes to the flea market and sells them on Saturdays and Sundays, and that's his life. That's how he makes it all work. So he's the one who first came up with free up.
I love it. It's good. It's a good slogan.
So we're gonna free up today.
Work hard and free up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Just make it all balanced.
Make it all balanced.
I think we've kind of covered the topic, haven't we?
Kind of covered it.
So plan your vacations now.
Yeah.
Start thinking about it.
summertime.
Start, and then just think about anytime you have some time, what can you do to be fun? Be a kid again. Fly a kite.
Yes.
Get out the crayons. Get out your ukulele, your guitar. Play some chords. Hum a new tune. Just free up.
Free up.
Do something fun.
Yes.
Go for a hike. Go for a swim. Go for a surf. Play volleyball. Josh, do you have anything to add?
I think you guys covered it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, play some beach volleyball. Look
Yeah.
how nice this day is.
Look
Incredible.
at this day.
It is incredible.
So beautiful.
Uh-oh. Look at this guy right here. Oh, he knows what he's doing. He's just standing on the reef getting ready to surf. I thought he was going to get smacked.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be live every Wednesday for Lunch with the Doc. So fun to have you. Except for next week.
Next
we'll
week,
be
we're
gone.
in Taos, New Mexico. We're going to go see my
Then
friend
we'll go
Standing
live
Deer.
out there. We'll probably go live out there and show you guys what a good time we're having.
We might.
We might.
Okay.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.